I'm Tom Telesco, the GM of the LA Chargers, and I'm going to watch the 2014 movie Draft Day. At the NFL Draft, General Manager Sonny Weaver has the opportunity to rebuild his team when he trades for the #1 pick. He must decide what he's willing to sacrifice on a life-changing day for a few hundred young men with NFL dreams.
Hey, Tom, you're up early?
Well, it is draft day. How you doing?
Well, I'm great. I'm having a great day. How about you?
Well, I'm sitting here eating my pancakes, thinking about moving #1. Callahan looks like, well, hell, Sonny, he's going to be a franchise player for someone.
Well, Jesus, Tom, at least act like you called me, all right? What do you want for it?
I want your first pick this year, your first rounder next year, and your third rounder the year after that.
Ouch. Ouch. No thanks.
Is this typically how deals go down between
Sounds like you're trying to take it.
Over pancakes and eggs? Sometimes, yeah. I haven't worn a tie to work in 10 years, but...
I'm not going to sell the farm for one guy.
Well, you should. Your farm sucks.
So in this second scene,
Okay.
His entire scouting staff has no idea this is happening, so he's now breaking the news that he just traded the pick to his entire staff.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Just made a trade with the Seahawks.
Wait, run that back. Go back. What's on the board? Is he talking about the player they're going to take? Because if the quarterback's 5'11", 220, I would not trade up for him. I haven't seen him yet, but I guess he could be Russell Wilson. He's not 220. 4.35. Although over here we got 6'0", 245, 4.55. That's a big quarterback too.
Is that how they write it? Is that how you would write it?
6'0", 245, 4. Yeah. That's 6 foot 2 inches even. That fourth number is 1/8 of an inch.
Just made a trade with the Seahawks.
For?
The #1 pick.
I don't know if I would advise making a trade, certainly to the first pick of the draft, without letting your head coach know. That wouldn't be unadvisable.
Al, are you here?
Yes. Yes.
She's the salary cap person.
Just gonna
Okay.
finish up with the
She's Ed
salary
McGuire.
cap.
It's about
Pause it
another.
for a second. Go back. Let me see the draft board. That's disappointing. That is nothing like anyone's draft boards. I mean, it's a little bit, but first of all, they're so small. Like, if you're going to have a movie about draft day, you'd think you would really get some real draft boards. There's like one player in each round for each position. That'd be tough.
Until about 10 minutes ago, I don't think
draft
any of us
board's just
thought this was
terrible.
possible, and I seriously doubt that we have looked at him the way we might have. That's my fault.
Yeah, so they would have had that work done beforehand. Now doing the work on the player that you're going to draft with the first pick of the draft after you made the trade, that's unadvisable as well. Yeah, that would all be done beforehand, obviously. The salary cap part of it, that all kind of works itself out.
What's he doing here?
This is Rick. He's a new intern.
Wait, pause it for a second. This is draft day, right? Now, I'm not paranoid, but if somebody brought in an intern, a brand new intern who I had no idea who he was, right in front of my office the day of the draft, no chance. No chance.
I have Adam Schefter from ESPN on the line. He heard a rumor.
Oh, great. Tell Schefter to stick his rumor up his...
Sonny.
I may have done that before. I didn't swear, though. I think everybody's probably done that to Adam once or twice before.
Get your head out of your ass!
What's going on?
Who the hell is this
This is our
moron?
new intern, Rick. What do you want?
I need every tape of Callahan
call
like
from
yesterday.
Mr. Weaver.
And suddenly every tape of everyone is AWOL, and show Johnny over here doesn't have a damn clue where they are.
I mean, there is an uncommon amount of stress on draft day, so I could see somebody getting a little irritated. But obviously, yeah, you're not pulling the tapes out the day of the draft to watch a player. That's not realistic, obviously.
You go through a draft, you get to like the later rounds. That's where you rely on your other scouts more, right? Have you seen every single one?
I've seen them, but not seen nearly the amount of tape that the scouts have, or know the intimate background of the player like the scouts do. Put it this way, we would never be pulling tape in the 7th round. This is all. I mean, the scouts do this 365 days a year, so they know everybody. I mean, they know guys all the way through to the last camp guy. They've seen tape of them, background. It's all done. How old is this movie? That phone looks old.
Hi, Mom.
You sold a cow for magic beans.
What?
You could have stole Ray Jennings at 7.
How does the entire world already know about this, Mom?
Because Monty Mac just tweeted it.
Sorry, Cleve. You get Bo. No Vontae. Dumb move.
You're on Twitter?
I'm sorry, Sonny. Is this a bad time?
This guy's having a rough day.
This is the draft analysis we've all been working on for the last 2 months.
I kind of like her even-keeled temperament on draft day. Like, she's not getting all riled up like he is.
Would you expect Brandon to do something like that?
To light a draft analysis on fire, put on my desk? No.
You've been in the league a long time. Have you ever heard of like crazy stories about like a coach kind of getting pissed or look?
Yeah, I got plenty of them, but I'm not sharing them. Not on camera.
He's an only child. His mom's a homemaker. His father's a medical malpractice lawyer. He's made some money, pays his taxes. He's got 3 years left on his mortgage. He's on the honor roll from junior high through college. Kept his nose clean. He worked out. And
Pause it for a second. Does every security director have an office downstairs with like cinder block walls with no windows? Seriously. Look at this guy's like down in the dungeon.
Same thing here.
I know, same with Bill Stetson. He's downstairs, no windows. Anyways, go ahead.
oh, he threw a football better than anybody in the great states of Washington or Wisconsin.
But
How do you know there's a but?
because you're an unoriginal, Ralph. So go on.
But during his final year at Wisconsin, he had a big dinner for his 21st birthday at some restaurant. Ask me who wasn't there.
Who wasn't there, Ralph?
Any of his teammates. None of his teammates came to the poor guy's birthday party, Sonny.
That's good info right there. That is good info. Information, yes. It could be from a security director, or it could be from a scout, it could be from a private investigator. Sometimes it's really deep. It's really deep. I mean, the scouts on the road, I mean, they are evaluating the player, his ability, practicing and playing games, but they also do a ton of work on the actual person. A lot of time that involves trying to, dig some things out like that. And if you have any questions on a player, so it's a little bit about, you're a football scout, a little bit of a private investigator trying to figure out that player. I mean, these are, we're investing in these players. But yeah, little things like that. You'd like to know how people act when they're not around people that they really have to impress. But that's good info. Quarterback, teammates don't show up to his birthday party. Something to note.
Do you think Herbert's teammates would show up to his birthday party?
From what I heard, they have. Multiple times, right?
Somebody call you yet?
Not yet.
What's he doing?
Well, I'm sure he's going to call soon.
Frog. Oh, Chris Smith. That's the Colts equipment guy right there. Chris, look at that. Shirt and tie. Do we know what year this is?
2014. Or the draft they shot this out was probably the year prior, probably 2013.
What's unfortunate is we don't do this anymore because now we send the pick in electronically. We used to have, Chris would literally be on the phone with somebody in our draft room the whole draft. I would tell Lou, I'd give him the name. Lou would give it to Chris. Chris would write it down on the card, and then Chris would give it to the runner. The runner runs it up to the table. Sounds really old-fashioned.
When did that stop?
Pandemic.
Yeah.
So we did it electronically from our homes, and then it just obviously is much more efficient, quicker.
What was like your first year in a draft room?
1995.
What was the role?
So we had a pick board on the wall of all the teams and then their pick numbers in every round. So my job was basically if there was a trade, because there are other magnets. If there was a trade, I'd go up and move the magnets of the picks that changed hands. And then as players were picked, I would take off that pick number and put the name of the player in that spot. Things were different then. Like the draft wasn't as big as it is now. Quite honestly, I didn't grow up like, hey, I want to be a GM someday, and I can't wait to get in a draft room. That really wasn't. I just loved football. I was in football. So my first draft, I didn't have any expectation of what it was going to be like. I was just so focused on, I better get those numbers right, and they better be in the right column, or else I'll never be back in here again. But it was awesome because at that time, our draft room was really small. Not much bigger than this room, actually. So I was in the draft room with a small group of people watching it all unfold. So I was lucky I had a job in there.
Got a new Callahan story for you.
Not sure I want to hear it.
This guy's a star in this movie,
You
huh?
have to drive pretty good with the last one.
Just talked to Jack Tate in Washington. He said when they found out they had the number 5 pick, first thing they did was send a copy of their playbook to all the guys they were interested in.
Right, we do the same thing.
No, they put a little special twist on it. They tape a $100 bill to the last page.
Why?
So when they're interviewing the guys and they ask them if they read the whole playbook, of course all of them are going to say yes.
I will say that if that's something you have to do because you're not sure of the guy, he's probably the wrong guy. Because you've already done like a year, sometimes we did 2 years of work on Justin Herbert. You've done so much work on the player. If you're thinking I need to do this just to make sure, then you got the wrong guy. You take somebody else. But I like the concept though. It's pretty interesting.
He didn't know about the $100 bill, Sonny. He lied.
So did they end up drafting this guy? Or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay. God, I hope not.
When they confront him about it and they tell him about the money, he lied again. Jack said he is the only guy to tell the lie and then to have the balls to stand and stick up for the lie.
I'm not taking him. No, it's kind of hard. I haven't seen him play. So, but I have a great story about this, but you just can't use it.
Have you ever asked like unorthodox questions at the combine interviews or anything like that to kind of...
You know, we don't really do that. Like, I don't really get into that. We do so much work leading up to that, talking to people. You know, that 15 to 20 minutes at the combine is, you know, just like get a feel for their personality more than anything else. We're not really into the trick questions and that stuff. All right, this is now I'm kind of, I want to see who they're going to take.
With the first pick of the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Vontae Mack, linebacker, Ohio State.
Wait, so he traded up and he told everybody we're taking the quarterback, and he took the defensive player?
The guy he could have taken at 7. This guy was mocked to go to them at 7.
Oh, mocks. Been there. He's got quarterback hair. You know, you go through 7 rounds and you have like, I don't know, 10 plus scouts and 20 coaches and pro scouts. I mean, it's hard to be taking players that every single person is 100% in love with the player. It's just natural because they're just opinions on players. So, no, I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, maybe a little dramatized, but he's having a rough day.
How about the writing it down on a piece of paper? Have you ever walked into a draft with writing someone's name down and saying, no matter what, I'm taking this guy?
No.
The Cleveland Browns now have the 6th pick and are on the clock.
Sonny, what'd you give him?
No time for that. I'm on the clock. I'm going to pick Bo, Tom, unless you want him more. And if so, let's make a deal.
Why would you take him now?
What the hell's going on, Sonny?
His draft board's terrible, too.
Make me an offer.
You've gone rogue.
Calls bluff because he didn't take him at 1. He must not like him. Just sit.
I want my number 1s back, all of them.
That's crazy. Why would I give them back?
Because at the end of the day, no one's the wiser, Tom. You haven't lost anything, and you get the quarterback messiah you've always wanted for $7 million less.
I like that. What's with these little draft boards? That's the smallest draft board I've ever seen.
Give you number 2 picks.
No. No, I want my picks back, all of them. I want all 3 years of this team's future back.
That's not fair.
Well, you want to cry about it, Tom, or you want to make a little magic before the clock runs out on both of us?
But I will say, you know, when you're making a deal on the clock, I mean, the clock's moving. We each have to call the league. We have to get it confirmed at the table. Then whoever's making the pick has to get their pick in. So there's a lot that has to go on. So those phone calls, when you're on the clock, I mean, they're really, really quick. 30 seconds, less than a minute. I mean, so there's not a lot of back and forth, like, because you got to get going. That seemed like it took forever.
All right, you have a deal.
I'll give you your picks. We have a deal.
What else do we need?
Special teams. Putney, get Putney.
David Putney. Putney.
Yeah.
Seems a little grab bag right now.
Sonny?
Just throwing names out there.
I'm sorry, that deal's now off the table.
What?
We live in a different world than we did just 30
Wait, he just had a
seconds ago.
deal and he just pulled it? I thought they just had a deal.
What do you want now?
You know, since you are doing it over the phone, so it's just your word, my word. So I would have a hard time having a deal, then pressing mute, and then coming back on and saying, that deal's off the table. I don't think that's a good way to do business.
It doesn't matter. I want all my picks back, and I want David damn Putney just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already? Come on, Tom. Say it with me, you pancake-eating mother.
That's the way to get a deal done right there.
All right. Deal.
Great. You're welcome. Confirm the trade. Damn it, I love this job.
There you go.
I mean, the whole thing is just kind of bizarre. Like I said, I thought they had a deal done. That was a lot of activity there in a short period of time.
What happens if you don't turn in a pick?
If you don't turn a pick, you just get passed, and the team behind you then is on the clock, and then they can pick. And then you can basically jump in after that. But once the next team's on the clock, if they don't send a pick in, we can still send a pick in. It doesn't happen often. You know, we have a clock. It's a hard clock. Once that hits 0 and you haven't made a pick, the next team can send their pick in right now. I don't know if you've watched the baseball draft before. Their clock is very loose. Like, it could be at 0, but, you know, they kind of like, oh, you know, just, you know, get your pick in. Like, ours is like, there's no wiggle room. So we've had it before where we're on deck. We got a team that's picking in front of us. We know who we want. We're just waiting to see who they take. That clock's ticking down for them. You know, it's inside 30 seconds. Like, hey, look, let's get our pick ready to send in just in case, you know, they don't put their pick in. Let's send ours in immediately. If it's a guy we know we're taking, which you would at that point, and we know we're not making a trade.
You guys have like great relationships with general managers.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's pretty respectful conversations, though, right? Not
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, not like that, no.
You never called it one a pancake eating mother.
No, not unless I knew the guy really well.
If you want to see more content like this, check out the link right here.